question is from Stephanie, and she is a gun violence survivor in Las Vegas. Stephanie?
My beautiful 4-year-old daughter, Dayla, was struck by a stray bullet March 2011. My son, my daughter's twin brother, witnessed what happened that day. She died 2 days later. Firearms are the second leading cause of death for children and teenagers in the U.S., but 4.6 million American children live in homes with at least one gun that is loaded and unlocked, and hundreds of them gain access to a gun and unintentionally shoot themselves or someone else every year. As president, how would you address unintentional shootings by children?
Thank you for that. Can I give you a hug? Is that be appropriate? I have a 6 and 3-year-old boy. I was imagining. I was imagining it was one of them that got shot and the other saw it. I'm so sorry. The biggest downside of running for president for me has been that I don't get to see my family very much. So I get pictures, I FaceTime, I see pictures of my boys, and just that scene that she described, I'm sorry, it's like very, very affecting.
Was Andrew Yang overwhelmed with emotion while hearing one victim's personal story of being impacted by gun violence, and the Democratic presidential candidate joins us now.
You spoke obviously very emotionally about the aftermath of gun violence. What are some policies you want to see? I want to control guns. And I want to zero in on one in particular. You have said that you want to upgrade guns to have gun owners personalize their weapons. Explain to us what that means and how possibly you could get that done and pay for it.
I'm aligned with Democrats in terms of the big legislative goals. We need to have universal background checks and red flag laws and ban automatic weapons. But the reality is we have over 300 million firearms already in this country. About one for every man, woman, and child, and whatever law we pass, those firearms are still out there. So how do you decrease supply? How do you make those guns safer? We should have a perpetual buyback in effect, where anyone who wants to sell their gun gets some money, and then you can start reducing supply. The other thing you can do in this personalization of guns, you can make a grip that essentially knows whether it's the owner based upon the size of their hand, the pressure. It's not a fingerprint thing, it's just like essentially the dimensions of your hand. And then if someone else tries to fire the gun, then it doesn't work. And this sounds very James Bondish, but the technology is very, very much available. It's just the gun manufacturers have not felt like it was going to be good for their businesses to have this, and this technology has become controversial because of inflammatory arguments on both sides.
Would it be required to do that? Just as a quick follow-up, would gun owners have to do that, submit their guns to have that sort of personalization?
I know it would be optional, but a lot of owners would love it, because who doesn't want a gun that's just yours? And a lot of gun owners have children. They know their children get a hold of the gun and tragedies can occur. So if you were to make it cost-free, you would see hundreds of thousands of these guns become personalized and then much, much safer.